Carlos, you said yesterday you weren't going to script anything. Just kind of what was along the lines, what was the message to the team when you did get in to talk to them?
Yeah, I mean, without getting into much details, I think it's just embracing expectations, enjoying the meaning of putting this uniform on, what it means, what we represent, and what we're here for, you know. So it was just more along those lines. So it was good.
As a manager, what can you do in particular to kind of create more cohesion in the clubhouse when there are so many new faces in there?
Yeah, look, I'm the leader, you know, but I also feel like we have a pretty good leadership group there. So I think it's a group effort, right? Just building relationships, you know, the connections, so we can earn the trust. You know, that's how you start forming, you know, that foundation. And I think it's important. I said it the other day. These guys, even though they're new faces playing together for the first time, they've known each other for a long time. You know, we got a lot of guys that have been around this league, so they know each other. And I think it's just now a matter of us putting it together and getting coming together as a team and go out there and do the things that we need to do on the field.
Two questions on different topics. One, what did you think of Christian Scott in that live?
Yeah, it's all about health, right? And he looks healthy today. I think he was up to 95. The cutter is a pitch now that looks really good. Again, we got to build him up, but it's good to see him back out there on the mound competing and being himself this early.
Steve Cohen said earlier that the Mets will never have a captain as long as he owns the team. Were you aware of that? And whether you were or not, what is your stance on it?
Yeah, I think since I've been in this chair, we've been pretty consistent with the captains, right? And there's a reason why we haven't named one. The way I see it, the way we see it, is we have a bunch of guys there that are part of that leadership group. You know, we lost few guys that were a part of that group, and then we gained some guys that have done that. So I think when you're talking about a major league locker room, you need to have, you know, not only one guy but few guys. That's what makes teams great, right? So nothing new for us. So that's what I got.
Carlos, from the outside at least, it looked like Francisco Lindor would be a logical candidate for that type of role. Is that something that you had to have a conversation with him about, not having a captain ever?
Nope. Just want him to be himself. I think, if anything, it's just making sure you play shortstop for the New York Mets at an elite level. That's his job, you know. It's on me and our coaches to take a lot of his plate, you know. Like, I don't want him to do too much. He does it, you know, naturally. But as far as, like, having a conversation, I think I had that since day one when I took this job. Say, you play shortstop for the New York Mets. Let us take care of the rest. But other than that.
Talked about the leadership group in that locker room. How important do you think it would be to a guy like Luis Robert Jr., who really hasn't had the opportunity to play with those type of players? And what do you think his ceiling is? I don't know if you heard, but he was hitting like bombs out there today.
Yeah, we know what he can do when he's healthy. We saw it in 2023. The fact now that he's going to be surrounded with pretty good players, and, you know, probably you're not asking him to hit, you know, to carry the load for the team, you know. So I think maybe take something off his shoulder and just concentrate on playing baseball. Our job is to keep him on the field, keep him healthy, but we know that when he's healthy, he can do some things that are special, you know. So yeah, I'm excited that he's here with us, and we're counting on a lot of the guys that are going to help him get to that next level.
Carlos, getting to watch Polanco in person take these live at-bats, what stands out to you most? I know he has a reputation that he can hit, but getting to see early on in person, what do you like most?
His ability to spray the ball around the field. You know, he goes the other way. He puts the ball in play. He's just a tough at-bat. He'll give you quality at-bat from both sides, righty or lefty. His ability to drive the ball, I think he drove one today. But then I also seen him go the other way, fall off some pitches. He's just, like I said, he's a professional at-bat. So that's what we've seen throughout his career. And so far in live BP, that's what we've seen.
Christian Scott stays healthy, throughout the spring, what's the plan for him? Will he be on the same sort of timing as all the other starting pitchers?
I wouldn't say so. He's got to pitch. He's got to pitch. We got to build him up. But the fact that he's already throwing 2 innings, up to 30-something pitches, is a good sign. So, again, we need this guy. Our job is to keep him healthy, and we will continue to build him up and see where we're at.
You talked about telling the players to embrace expectations this year when you addressed them. What were the expectations that you outlined for them?
Well, there's always high expectations here. Our goal is to be the last team standing, and we haven't done that the past couple of years. So just understanding the responsibility and what's ahead of us, and just embrace it. We have a really good opportunity to do something special here. So that's kind of like the message in there.
Just to clarify on Scott, so there's a chance he could even start on the IL or extended spring, something like that, or is he's going to pitch on opening day? Like, where is he exactly in that progression?
That I don't know. Yeah, I got to get with the pitching coaches here.
Carlos, you came from a team that did have a captain. I was just curious, do you think the captain thing these days is more of kind of an outside creation that people look at and not thought of as much on the inside? Or is it just not something that gets mentioned all too much inside the clubhouse?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because when was Judgy named the captain there officially?
I think you had 1 year still. Wasn't it 23?
That I don't know. But anyways, I think, I think every organization is different, but I think it's just too much noise, But for us inside here, we don't think too much of that. The way we see is the leadership group, You look at the team like the Dodgers. I don't think that's a topic there with so many superstars that they got, right? So for us as ball players, coaches, managers, our goal is to get the job done there, right? So, I think it's just more like the outside noise and all that.
For guys like Brett and Mark that are playing kind of all over the field, how do you try and just balance that workload for them in multiple different positions over the course of spring going into the games?
Yeah, the beauty is that we got a few weeks here. We're not going back to back with guys out of the gate. Vientos is the one that is going to be leaving for the WBC. So he'll miss some time here in camp, but he's going to be getting reps and getting at bats. It always plays itself out. Like I said, getting at bats, playing A games, playing on the backfields, minor league games, especially if you want to give those guys some reps in new positions, you can always get creative and go on the backfields and play minor league games. So that's not going to be an issue.
Do you know where Mark is playing with Nicaragua?
He's probably going to play third base. I texted Dusty. He said they got 4 first basemen, so he can play. So we'll give him a lot of reps here at first, and just go get you at bats there.
Carlos, I know you want Scott to become a complete pitcher, work on all the soft speed stuff, but what jumps out at you is still the live fastball, the ball that just kind of jumps out of his hand.
Yeah, and we all saw it today. The first at bat, I think he blew 3 fastballs by the hitter there. That's what makes him who he is. His ability to just attack the zone and the way that fastball explode. So, he's healthy. He had to work really hard. It wasn't easy for him last year, watching us from the distance. But he's put himself in this position, and he's ready to go now.